Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be playing Grand Tactician Civil War using the AOM mod. As you can see, we're going to be starting on July 21st. We're going to be putting the CSA on mediocre, which is supposed to have the best turnout and keep things as baseline historical as possible. And then as you see, we're going to have all of the various things on with the exception of auto manage. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see here, we are going to be jumping in right away, hopefully into the Battle of Bull Run, typical starting point. And there we go, we're going to be able to jump right on in and start there. Looks like our objective will be Newmarket and Sudley Road, or Manassas Sudley Road, kind of on the way to Newmarket. And our army, commanded by Irvin McDowell, is going to have a long way to go. So, just kind of looking at it ahead, we're probably looking at, sorry for all the spinning, crossing around Mitchell's Ford and Blackburn Ford, or even Island Ford, and going from there. So, with that said, we'll go ahead and start marching that direction, and then we'll come back shortly for as soon as we start to see the enemy. So we're bringing you back here, even though we haven't really spotted the enemy yet. Just kind of giving you an idea of the path that we've gone for movement purposes and not getting all the infantry caught up in artillery movement. We have split the force kind of in half here, where half should be approaching from Newmarket and the other half will be approaching more from our railroad path and the actual flat run side of things and Sudley Spring side of things. Hopefully that should allow us to put a potential enemy that we're assuming is near the victory point, put them in kind of a vice there and see what happens. Again, we'll bring you back if anything happens. And just like that, we have actually spotted the enemy. Um, Dixon Miles's division has spotted some movement up here. It looks like the Stonewall Brigade, and then you've got the 1st Virginia Cavalry, so Stewart's cavalry up there, and then we're seeing movement coming from the railroad, which doesn't exude a lot of confidence. We got some more cavalry over here. And we do seem to have them caught in a little bit of a pincer here. So we will keep you in game for the foreseeable future. Uh, Blinker's going to be sent forward along with Davies. We're going to put Miles on an attack stance and then attempt to try to draw the troops out of the woods. So we maybe have a little bit more of an opportunity to hit them out in the open. Heinzelman over here on their flank and Tyler's division also on their flank are going to be sent forward. We may have to do a little bit of moving brigades just to force some of that attacking movement. And then we still have Hunter's division back here working down the road to what looks like an enemy division down at the bottom of a valley. So we might be able to put some artillery on them from this ridge up here. So it looks like they turned to face Miles, and then because of that, are going to set their flank up to be attacked, and instead they send their cavalry out. We got Keyes' brigade going to meet them with a little bit of artillery support. As you see from all the dust in the background, it looks like the enemy had at least some reinforcements hidden in the back. So it looks like Tyler's finally started to give a little bit of orders over there. Hunter's men still moving into position. We're going to move them just a little bit further up that ridge and hope that they can get some artillery on those Confederate troops down at the bottom of that ridge. Trying to force a little bit of a flanking move here. We did rout Wickham's cavalry. They got out of there pretty quick. We do have a little bit more to work with over there. But Early's brigade showing up, coming out of the woods, also getting in line with their flank exposed. So that could be something that we can exploit here if Tyler or Heinzelman, either one, start moving and getting in position. That is one large, long line of rebel infantry down there trying to defend the victory point. Some of them are in good cover in the woods there, but for the most part, there's a lot of them out in the open. Again, if we can get that artillery in place, we could be in really good shape there. This is the problem with getting to Sudley Springs, however, because there are a lot of rivers and open ground to try to cross. All right, it looks like they're responding to the flank. We've got a little artillery going onto their flank. I'm not sure where they're going. Mm, the AI likes to do this, where they completely flip which side of the line their units are on and completely flop it in the middle of a battle, which tends to lead to a mess there. They do it with, if you set your army on a specific instruction, they do it on their own. It does cause for a little bit of problems. I'm not sure why they do it. They like to completely flip the side of the line and send a unit from the far left to their far right pretty consistently. We'll get Hunter moving again, trying to get up on those ridges. But looks like they're converging on Blinker's skirmishers out there. They got a lot of firepower shooting at those skirmishers. But again, have left their flank completely exposed. I don't know if the AI just isn't registering that there's anybody there or what's going on. So right now we've got Miles's division more or less just giving a diversion, causing the Confederate AI to freak out on what's going on right in front of them while all this movement's happening to both their flanks. Now, McDowell's orders are taking forever to get to anybody. Need to get a little bit faster couriers here, but they're sending some cavalry out here again. You'd think they just realized that that did not work a second ago, but the light dragoons. Well, they are sending a handful of brigades out this way now, so that could make things interesting. And then as you see, we've got the tooltip off up top, so we won't really know how we're doing battle-wise, how the enemy morale is. Very similar to more of a realistic standpoint there, where in a battle you kind of have an idea of how the battle's going, but you really don't know how your troops' morale is or how the enemy morale is. At any minute, anybody could break and run away. So what looks like they've got Longstreet's brigade, Jones, and Theodophilus Holmes's brigades, all three coming in, but they're all three on top of each other. Looks like Hunter sent Palmer's cavalry in to attack over here for some reason, and they're attacking early while staying mounted. It's not really a great strategy, but it is early in the war. Maybe they just haven't realized that getting off of their horses allows them to shoot a little bit better. For some reason, Hunter has decided he is moving his entire force over here to join the flank attack. I'm going to overrule that because that makes absolutely no sense. So we're going to try to put a halt to everything that's going on there because McDowell doesn't have initiative on, but Hunter also doesn't. I'm not sure why he's trying to go all the way across the map there, and it's probably going to lead to bad things happening. We'll try to override it with a variety of options. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. Try to get Hunter to just go to an attack stance instead of sending his troops. Maybe I misclicked. because that's a odd choice for the AI to do. It also really makes me very unhappy with Hunter, because that just probably wasted our cavalry brigade. Yeah, they're going to be out of commission for probably the majority of this fight. Looks like down here, though, Heinzelman's group is doing pretty well against those three brigades that came in to stop them, with the only one left being Longstreet. But now Cook's brigade's coming in. I'm not entirely sure what the AI is doing. Maybe we'll have to slow it down, let it do a little more thinking. So we'll go down to speed 1, let the AI do some more thinking. Well, looks like Porter's men have made a run for it over there because of the poor choices of Hunter. We'll say it was Hunter. It might have been me, but we'll just say it was him. He had some poor choices in the real life war, so we'll just go ahead and blame him for it. And so now he's got the Marine Corps is also routed. That's not very good. Our flank attack is doing well down here, but Tyler more or less has just decided to stay out of the fight. We'll try to issue an order to get him back involved a little bit and maybe help out Heinzelman's group. And you got Miles's men who were also just standing behind the artillery. I'm not really sure what they're doing either, but maybe we'll get them in the fight too. Hmm. We are going to try to take out Longstreet while we've got him pinned. What? Who knows? Maybe we'll wound him or something and get him out of action for a little while. But his brigade's usually pretty tough early on. Mhm. Really not liking our outlook here at this point, especially with Ewell's men coming in. I mean, that's some heavy hitters right there for the Confederacy, kind of all in one place. Um, Not really liking that, but we might be able to hold this flank. We are pushing Longstreet's men back as we flanked them, so that helps. And Hunter's men are just, I mean, Hunter alone is down a significant number. Miles is refusing to send any of his men into attack. despite being on attack. That's good. He's got two brigades that are both just kind of hanging out, letting the artillery do their thing. I guess it's symbolic of 1861 Union generals. Well, Burnside's being engaged by the Louisiana Tigers. If Burnside gets pushed back, we're going to be in a lot of trouble over here. Our whole flank will be up in the air. Okay, he was able to hold there. Maybe can get Hunter to actually put Sykes back in commission with Burnside and bring his division back together. So it's kind of a battle of both sides trying to turn the other's right flank at this point. I'm not sure what our casualties are right now, but they're not looking terrible, but also not looking great. You click around, you see we've only lost a little over 700 men, or a little under 700 men, but we've got a variety of guys already routed. That's not really helping. You know, McDowell's an interesting story in and of himself. Gets put in charge because of his friendship with Salmon P. Chase, but then more or less comes out and says that I shouldn't be in charge. Getting ordered to fight a battle early on that he doesn't believe the troops are ready for, but it's either fight the battle or all those contracts start running out and soldiers go home. Becomes famous for failure, I guess, realistically. Used to be corps commander for a while, but never really goes well. If you're spitting out skirmishers like crazy ones. It'd be nice if Tyler's division were to join the fight. Because I think we're gonna start to struggle here. Well, Franklin's still doing pretty good. So we're still doing okay on our right flank. Burnside's kind of out in the open right now, but looks like they're leaving him alone. Sykes is being used to help protect these batteries, which could be getting cut down at any second. Looks like the batteries just sent somebody running. B's brigade. Franklin's brigade is just tearing people up, it looks like. Everybody keeps coming right by him and flanked. Wilcox is falling back despite orders to attack. Looks like he's tired though, so that oh no, that's looks like his morale is starting to wane a little bit. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe it's just the first battle issues. Franklin's starting to stand out pretty impressively. Just sent Early's brigade packing. Now it's really, can we push forward? Well, will anybody push forward? We're gonna take some of that out of the hands of Tyler, who is still just kind of hanging out. We're gonna give Franklin's men a bit of a break, sending Oliver Howard in to do some fighting. So while we have a decent number of routes over there on our right flank, you're seeing enemy brigades back here kind of falling apart. So maybe we can get Davies to come join in on the attack over here. There's batteries there that concern me with flanking fire, but between Ewell, Bonham, and Cook's brigades, we should be able to push a few of those out. And that could potentially break their morale. Looks like Davies has other ideas. He is under bombardment. I'm trying to get him to understand that he's going to be in cover. There he is. He's in cover. But he's getting flanking bombardment fire. That's a lot of batteries in one place. Maybe we can get Blinker up there into an attack position. Yeah, they've got some units routed. Looks like D.R. Jones is coming back for more. Davies does not indeed like pushing up on that flank. Yeah, they've sent D.R. Jones back. Blinker pushing forward is getting hit by flanking fire, so maybe that was a bad decision on my part. Just trying to clear out some of those artillery. Clear those out, it'll break some morale, and maybe let this turn out to be a victory, despite some early routes. Is Porter ready to go again? It looks like he can come up and at least support Burnside. Might not do a whole lot, but kind of like Blinker there, did not actually route. Might have taken out one of the cannon crews. Yeah, it looks like one crew might have gotten pushed off their battery. Now we do have some artillery firing into them, so that could be helpful. I'm not really sure what the AI is doing here. They're just kind of laying down and getting shot at. I'm not sure if we're just out of range from being slightly uphill on them. I guess in reality we could be shooting directly over their heads. but it doesn't look like it. Looks like we're increasing those casualties just a little bit. We do have to be careful about ammunition. Might be time to send another brigade forward to add to that shooting gallery that we've kind of got going on. Yeah, not inflicting a whole lot of casualties. Must be shooting directly over their heads right now. Some bad aim by our guys there. Looks like Palmer's back in the saddle over there. We're gonna move Sykes a little bit closer to Hunter just to kind of protect Burnside's other flank. Our center's looking pretty weak right now. Of course, our left flank is many different units are shooting over here are not actually inflicting a whole lot of damage. Now we're starting to get just heavy fire on them. As I said, that 4 brigades firing at them might force them back a little bit. Sherman pushing forward. He's gonna be in a melee here in a second. Yep, looks like we're in a charge here. See how he does. Sherman victorious on that one. That was opposite of real life for him at Bull Run. So as we're here, we're talking about still potentially turning that flank from the rebels. They do have some smaller units over here. They are starting to rally their units the same way we are. So will anybody make it in for a second push is kind of the question here. Sherman's facing the wrong direction. He might want to turn around. We'll just help with that. See if that makes things a little bit less chaotic. I'm not sure what Daniel Tyler's problem is, but he is refusing to push forward. I've had to move him every single time. I guess in real life he was part of the problem at Bull Run as well, but you would think the computerized version might follow orders. He's passive. That would potentially explain it. artillery over here starting to struggle. Miles is really struggling. We really need Heinzelman and Tyler to push forward and control some things. Also passive. Got a lot of passive commanders right now. Because Hunter's not passive. He tried to march all those guys across the other side of the world. Nope, he is also passive. Alright, so we do have some work to do on some commanders. That will come into play a little bit with some of our house rules that I will post in the description for you guys, or at least a link to them. They're posted on the Discord channel for this video game if you ever want to check that out. But from there, we're going to have some house rules for commanders and army sizes, things of that nature to kind of keep things within the bounds of difficulty. Alright, so Miles has lost all of his artillery, and Davies is all that's left over there. We really need... We'll use Richardson. He's got the attributes that he might not listen to Tyler not giving orders and might push forward. Sherman, same thing. Like, he's the type of guy that might push forward because he just had some success with that charge. Oh, there we go. Now we've got some skirmishers getting sent out. At least gets us somewhat started. There's Richardson engaging with Bonham. We have lost some more of our artillery over here. You know, if the sun goes down, we may be withdrawing. We're definitely losing in the artillery segment of things. Our right flank is pretty banged up. Though, haven't had a whole lot of losses, but they feel like they're pretty banged up, and our center is panicking. Davies is falling back. It's just letting Richardson get torn apart on his flank. Keys can come up and help out. Davies should be hitting Jones in the back right now. Like I said, here at the end of this day, we might be withdrawing just from the pure exhaustion of this battle. I don't think we're going to win this one the way that they're recovering their morale right now. We don't have the artillery to really support a push, and it looks like they're getting ready to take some of our lost artillery. There we go. Davies' men are in position and now pouring it into Jones from the back. Now it's going to be some overwhelming fire on their flanks for him and Bonham. Getting hit on both sides. That could help. Richardson's struggling, so let's see if we can get Tyler up there to rally him a little bit. Same with Miles. Man, is he calling Davies back again? That's frustrating. We just got their flank turned, and you're going to send them back. Here comes a variety of smaller brigades to try to make up for those losses. We did rout both Bonham and Jones, which Probably should have happened based on how quickly we were on both sides. Richardson is just not letting up either. They're out running and he's just tearing them up. But now he's flanked and just laying. Yep, losing our artillery that was lost over here. They're taking control of. Blinker is still running. Jones is running behind our lines. That's probably not going to lead to good things for us if he recovers. See what our losses look like right now. We're in stable condition morale-wise. I wish it would tell me the overall. Let's see. Stable 59. Well, we're probably talking lower 50s, upper 40s, morale-wise. We are taking a decent number of casualties. Well, I'm not sure where Miles keeps sending people. He has sent Davies to the rear every 10 seconds. He's just like, yes, get further away. Miles is probably, hopefully, going to get able to be replaced here shortly. We'll see though. I mean, I guess in real life, Miles was drunk, potentially, depending on who you believe. Oh no, Keyes is wounded. Well, one of the house rules is if a unit gets wounded, we do try to detach them, if possible, and move them back to the rear to reorganize a little bit. They don't have to get all the way reorganized, but with their actual commander getting killed, we want to go ahead and, or wounded, we want him to be able to kind of fall back a little bit, reorganize. Now, if he were killed, we would try to, again, wait until the next day and let a different commander, in theory, take over. Alright, well, we might be able to stop them from stealing our artillery. Well, it has gotten dark out, so there is a foreseeable chance that the night will come. I'm not sure that we would continue this fight at our current pace unless we can take this flank. Once again go after their artillery. Hopefully are able to push them back a little bit. Trying to hopefully not micro that much, but it seems like we're going to get stuck doing that for a little bit with some of these commanders. Say hopefully they open up. Well, if we can hit all of their artillery, we may actually be able to win this fight. Their morale may drop so significantly that it will be in better shape than them. Looks like Miles and Davies did rout. I'm not sure if we can hit Longstreet's flank there without getting too much damage. But if we can get that flank turned, we could sandwich and pinch it. Like we originally planned here, the Army of the Potomac. The AI is fascinated with the idea of laying down while under fire. Looks like we're finally getting some orders here from Heinzelman. Finally telling some people to go forward and push. Appease his men, see if their morale goes up at all. Fighting spirit kind of means that it won't go up a whole lot further. Well, let's see. Porter did not force Longstreet into action. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. We may need Burnside to come help out. As Porter's men are once again laying down. Now they're falling back. That's not great. Yeah, it looks like finally pushing over here on the left. Tyler and Heinzelman finally telling their men to go ahead and push forward. Keyes' men are really lost without him. Wilcox is... Looks like he's actively feuding and refusing to listen to any order from Heinzelman. We lost. Is it Sherman? Sherman broke. That's not good. But we are kind of turning some of their flank right now and putting them into a bit of a pickle here where we've got a bunch of brigades that haven't been too used up yet. Pushing on largely artillery with limited infantry support. However, it is getting pretty late, as you can tell by the battlefield. A little after 7:30. I'm not sure we're going to have time to complete this pincer move over here. Or even if we'll get the pincer move, but Burnside's engaged with Longstreet again. And he's falling back. Every time I try to get somebody to come forward, they fall back. Not sure if we're going to be able to pull this off. It'll have to be done at dusk. Sherman's now feuding with, I believe that's Tyler. Might be Heinzelman's. Let's see. Yeah, it's Tyler. Understandable. Franklin pushed forward and he broke. That's not good. Burnside broke. Yeah, we're starting to break in a handful of places. McDowell still says we're stable. Heinzelman stable. Tyler being nervous makes me nervous. He's got a couple that are doing well. Keyes' brigade without him has been marching in circles for quite some time. I'm shocked the battle hasn't ended yet. I guess it is the summer, so the light will stay out just a little bit, but Sykes' regulars rout Esley. This is probably going to come down to the wire here of whose morale drops first or night sets in. Because at this point, where our morale is, there's probably no way we can continue into the next day. Our lost resilience is doing okay, but I mean, we're talking 2,400 casualties to start the war, and our morale's dropping pretty quickly. We're gonna speed things up a little bit, see if we can't get night to break out. I'm not sure. It's been a 14-hour battle so far, and there's really no signs of it stopping other than pure exhaustion. The good news is Richardson's men have actually grown in experience, and that'll actually help quite a bit later on down the line. Looks like Sykes' men made a run for it. Got hit by some artillery that's in between these woods. That's kind of what I'm talking about with McDowell here. I mean, he's dropped to nervous. End of day. We're going to go ahead and pull our troops out of here um, and meet you back at the home screen. So as you see, we've made it back to the home screen here. The battle looks like we actually did pretty well. They suffered 5,200 or so casualties to our 3,800, but I felt our morale was kind of taking a toll and had too many units break, so I felt like it was really one of those times to go ahead and pull our troops out. As you see, Palmer is going to lose face and be defamed. Real quick though, before we end this episode, I am going to go ahead and start our policies. First one we're going to go for is Militia Act 2, to get our volunteer units to last a little bit longer. That's kind of my number one priority right now, is to get those contracts to be a little bit longer. Then we'll probably get over here into print notes to get a little bit of more money, get some more military in here. Starting projects that we're going to go after right away are Civil Order. Anybody that's played before can tell you, that's a huge one. Propaganda is going to be helpful for us also, so we're going to focus on those two early on here. We'll take a look at some of these in the next episode and kind of see how we feel, but really we're going to focus on kind of more of that Civil Order type of tree, because we're going to expect a lot of casualties here and really do not want to get too badly hit with that state support. Real quick, we'll kind of give you a quick rundown of what our orders of battle look like right now. Obviously here we've got a variety of units still showing up that are not here yet. AOM does a great job putting historical orders of battle in there for the start of the campaign, even regiment sized. So just a shout out there to them. Figured I'd show you some of the work that these guys put in and the amount of time that they spent on it. You can clearly tell by all of the individual units and the amount of research that went into it. So with that, we will end the episode, and we'll do a little bit of housekeeping for some of those house rules and promotions and whatnot for leaders, and go from there.